Hello students, families, staff, and community members. We wanted to take time to share an update about the district's facilities planning process. Planning started immediately following the successful bond referendum last fall. After a brief pause in the last few weeks, our planning meetings have resumed in a virtual format, similar to the way our students are learning during these unusual times. Teams for every project will help shape the improvements at our facilities, which will be phased in through 2025. In lieu of the in-person community listening sessions that were scheduled for this spring, we have created a presentation to explain the participatory process being used for each design. We have also created a survey where you can share your thoughts and ask any questions you may have. Both the presentation and survey are available at isd624.org/buildingourfuture. The bond referendum provides funding for improvements to address capacity, safety and security, maintenance, and updates to learning spaces across the entire district. A list of improvements by school can be found here as well as on the district's website on the Building Our Future Facilities Process page. Representatives from our design team at Wold Architects, Paul Aplikowski and Sal Bagley, will now review the design process and timeline for the projects.
The planning process for all of the referendum projects was created to include stakeholder input and be aligned with the strategic plan of the district. Before any building-specific decisions were made, the district commissioned a committee called the Future of Learning that included representatives from all buildings in the district to create a consistent vision and recommendations that can be incorporated into all the projects.
This committee of over 60 representatives discussed how both design of learning spaces and educational programming can work in tandem to support the goals of the strategic plan. Over the course of 4 meetings held in December 2019 and January 2020, this committee developed statements of guidance, called principles, that are being shared with each core planning group.
Each building is planned to have a core planning group, which will include administrators, teachers, and staff, and even students as representatives of their building's community. This group is typically between 10 to 20 people, depending on the scale of the project. They will meet several times over the course of a few months to discuss the goals and priorities of the project, take tours and study examples from other schools, and come to agreement as a team on the criteria for the project. At the end of schematic design, the core planning group will have a floor plan that represents important space relationships to best support the needs of the building.
After the core planning group creates the floor plan collaboratively with the design team, additional stakeholder input is gathered through a process called user group meetings. In these type of meetings, the design team will meet with users of all impacted spaces and go through detailed requirements of the spaces, including storage needs, display locations, marker and tack boards, light switching and locations, materials and finishes, and other important details to support the use of the space. These meetings seek to gain ownership in the design and occur as many times as needed to get the details right. At the end of this process, space users will have helped shape the space they will use, and the design team has gathered important information that can be incorporated into the project.
All of these processes have been built to maximize involvement and participation. The work of these committees is shared with the district's referendum steering team, who manage the overall budget and schedules, and all projects will go to the school board for review.
Next, we'll cover the overall timeline for the projects. As mentioned, the Future of Learning Committee met in December 2019 through January of 2020. The new elementary school to be built in Hugo will complete the schematic design phase at the end of April and then move into the user group process in the spring. The intent is to issue documents for bidding at the end of the year, and the building will be under construction starting in spring 2021 for occupancy in fall of 2022. The high school core planning group has been meeting since late January and will continue to do so through May 2020, including subcommittees specifically focused on performing fine arts and activities and athletic spaces. The design team anticipates issuing drawings for bidding in spring 2021, and construction will be done in phases over the course of about 4 years. The intent is to join grades 9 through 12 together in the facility in the fall of 2024. In addition to those 2 projects, improvements at Lincoln Elementary, Matoska International, Vadnais Heights Elementary, and Willow Lane Elementary are also planned to begin as a part of the first phase of projects. The core planning groups have just started their work, and drawings will be complete towards the end of the summer for bidding and construction to occur in fall 2020. The new transportation building follows a similar trajectory in order to move that function off the high school site before construction begins in summer 2021. Finally, the gymnasium addition at South Campus will begin construction in fall 2020 as well.
The design team is working closely with the district and Kraus Anderson, the construction manager, for all of the projects. To create phased construction schedules, all projects are anticipated to be completed by 2025.
We are thankful for your interest in the projects and welcome any feedback or questions you might have. At isd624.org/buildingourfuture, there is a link to a survey where you can share comments, hesitations, or hopes for the projects. You can also provide your contact information in case you would like a follow-up. The district is grateful for the support from the community for these projects, and we will provide regular updates as the designs evolve. We continue to work hard to build our future, even as we're all tasked to do things differently these days. Go Bears!